don't like about politics is that it's no longer simply about politics. Today's politics is shamelessly filled with a bunch of demonizing finger pointing, relentless shaming, and degrading reputation attacks. The primary point of political debate is supposed to be centered around what policies our nation should be drafting up and codifying into law in order to proactively steer our world-leading nation and economy into a more stable position and prosperous direction for the benefit of over 335 million American citizens. In any event, as we witness on a yearly basis, whenever people improperly utilize their social positions and political powers as a weapon to unduly degrade and attack people on a personal level, those impulsive opinions then amplify and transform resentment into aggression and violence. We casually experience these sort of circumstances over and over again in the streets and in prison. So when you have a set of circumstances present like these, combined with a complete lack of access to alternative opportunities and trustworthy education, chaos inevitably erupts. From my incarcerated perspective, today's politics seem to have already devolved into the same negative social cycles that casually ensnare uneducated individuals into prison violence. The worst part about it all is that some of our most highest ranking officials seemingly enable it and even encourage it through their own political tactics. I believe that a lot of these political factors exist due to the fact that a lot of our political leaders have been elected into government office based solely upon their public popularity, as opposed to properly being elected into office based solely upon their talent and creating effective policies. Normally, someone's life experience in their career helps to establish a form of mental balance that reliably centers their presence of mind enough to stay on the right track throughout unexpected distractions. Right now, you don't see that with a lot of our leaders who have consistently proven that they can't even navigate or control their own politics. My political identity squarely aligns with that of the independent voter base, which uniquely provides American citizens a viable middle ground political platform to participate in national politics without all of the muddy political implications. I've learned that independent positions within politics are invaluable because these neutral positions strategically afford you better suited platforms to adjust, adapt, and transform your gradually developing ideologies into more flexible approaches to success. In today's politics, belonging to a political party can be emotionally draining and mentally exhausting. I must also admit that today's politics is also very misleading based upon its influence being derived from a small group of people's personal opinions rather than being founded upon publicly substantiated facts. There's also an intense amount of misinformation and political propaganda being deployed across many of our most trusted media platforms and news sources. These social confusions then needlessly complicate and stagnate diplomatic discussions. I also don't like the fact that constituents of prominent political parties are casually being forced to support the strict unilateral beliefs of their party, even when those views conflict with their own personal values. That's a form of forced politics. As an independent voter, you are completely free of those social burdens and possess the completely personal freedom to vote for a government that you believe to be perfect for your nation as a whole. These are the reasons why, even as an incarcerated activist, I would love to see more independent representatives elected throughout our state and federal legislatures. World democracies are essentially consensual democratic forms of utilitarianism, which means the greatest good for the greatest number. Basically, majority rules. Public politics are then utilized as an ideological mechanism to persuade people to reach a unified voting consensus in order to effectuate these social processes enough to decisively decide the diplomatic affairs of our nation. Your constitutional right to vote is a direct extension of your human right to freedom of speech and expression. In sum, voting rights are human rights. So when you register to vote, you are also registering to utilize your human rights. With this, I encourage people to register to vote as an independent voter rather than to not vote at all. Our nation depends on each and every one of you. Do not sit around and hopelessly complain about the effects of bad leadership because we are the ones who negligently elected them into their positions. Therefore, it is our direct responsibility to vote against them in order to vote them out of their positions once we realize that they are not performing to our reasonable expectations. If we, the people, would like to end any outdated or barbaric practice within our nation, our unified vote and voice. If we, the people, would like to end any outdated or barbaric practice within our nation, our unified vote and voice inherently harvest the collective power to effectively disrupt and eliminate it on demand. And if we, the people, have a dream and endeavor to create some new social apparatus or structure within our society, our collective unity can indeed manifest our social ambitions into a reality. Your voice and your right to vote are some of the most organically powerful tools that we have as human beings. Do not let it go to waste. America is the strongest nation in the entire world. Stand up for it.